y'all that don't know me, and I'm super excited to be talking to y'all tonight. So we are in week 2 of our All I Want for Christmas series. So I wanted to start off with just a story about one of our Christmases and setting up decorations. Who helps their family set up decorations?
I set up.
Yes? Isn't it the worst whenever there's one light out and it takes out the rest of the lights so they're all tangled, yeah. Anyways, so this one year, we have this really cool porch outside. I don't really understand why it has slits in it because it seems kind of counterproductive, but anyways, we have this really pretty porch outside in our backyard, and so my dad, he hung these really gorgeous white icicle lights out in the back, and after Christmas ended, it was wow, those are so cool. Expecting them to be taken down. Well, January rolls around and they're still up there. April rolls around and they're still up there. June rolls around and they're still up there. And we get all the way to October and it's well, we might as well just leave it up till next Christmas. And so we did, and for the next 4 Christmases after that. So we had these really cool Christmas lights in our backyard, and it was super awesome. And so for me, I love Christmas lights, and it kind of gets me in that Christmas spirit kind of feeling. And so I was actually, while I was prepping for this, I was looking at some different Christmas lights, and I found some, it was insane. I can't even imagine the electrical bill that came off of them. The entire house coated in lights. It was a net was thrown over it with all these lights. Can't imagine taking those down or putting those up. It was insane. But I don't know about y'all, I really get in the Christmas spirit when I start to see the lights and the decorations. And so talking about Christmas spirit, I think it's important to think about what else comes with that. So for me, I'll be completely honest, when I think of Christmas and Christmas spirit, I get in this, gifts, yes. And before you call me selfish, Jesus was a gift, and I'm very thankful for him. So I am so thankful for that gift. But as I got older, I started to realize it wasn't just about me opening the gifts under the tree, I had to give them too. And so it's become kind of this expectation when Christmas rolls around. It's oh, yes, I get gifts, but I also have the opportunity to give them to other people. And I have the opportunity to watch their face light up. I'm one of those people that I order something and then it comes in, I'm do you want your Christmas present early? Are you sure you don't want to open it? And I'm just so ready to see their reaction and see how excited they are about it. And so Christmas for me just kind of has this giving and receiving kind of mode. I'm very aware that comes with it. So one of the things that follows this Christmas spirit is kindness and generosity. And you see a lot of people are happier around Christmas time. And as we wonder why is that, science actually proves, and I believe the Bible does too, that generosity makes people happier. When you give, you're happier. And so the reason I say that the Bible says this as well is in Romans 2:15. It tells us that the law is written on our hearts, the law being who God is and his heart for us. And we know from Genesis 1:27 that says we were created in the image of God, that we carry those characteristics and those traits like generosity. And we know Jesus was generous by giving his life, and God generous by giving his son. And so generosity is just a piece of us. It's who we are. And when we embrace who we are and we embrace this characteristic, this trait of God that we were created with, we step into our full potential and our purpose. And it's beautiful and it brings joy. So something that's hard about Christmas is as the spirit starts to go away, as we put away the decorations, so does that spirit of generosity and that giving. It's no longer expected of us, and so we just don't do it as much anymore. So what if we could fight this post-Christmas blues with being generous year-round? And so I'm sure many of you know the Christmas story, but I don't think you've heard it from Nora before. So Nora, Morgan, will you all come up here? I'm gonna ask you some questions about the Christmas story.
Go.
All right,
You can go sit with Morgan. Morgan will do it.
All right, Morgan, can you do me a favor? Who's Christmas all about?
Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus, that's right. Okay, so Christmas is all about Jesus. Who's baby Jesus' mom and dad?
Joseph and Mary.
Yeah, Joseph and Mary. And so an angel came to Joseph and Mary and told them that they were going to have a baby, and this baby was going to be Jesus. And guys, believe it or not, this is prophesied way before Mary came along. In Isaiah 9:6, it says that for unto us a child will be born, Unto us a son will be given, and the government will stand on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace. And this is the Jesus that we know today. So Jesus came along because where was Jesus born?
In Bethlehem.
In Bethlehem, that's right. And where was he born? Like what did they lay him in after he was born? What was his bed?
The stable.
Oh, he was in the stable. So I am learning. Science is now starting to show that it was more likely a cave, which I know that ruins our beautiful nativity scenes, but it's fine. Anyways, Jesus was born in a manger, and so we see this highly exalted God in the flesh, born in such a lowly place, being in the manger where the animals get their food. It's crazy. Well, thank you all so much for helping me with the Bible story.
Come on, guys. Come on, Nora. Come on, Morgan. Come on. Good job. Good job.
So I have a question for y'all.
Can you go to Daddy?
Well, and then of course there are the shepherds and the wise men came later and all of that stuff. So we find the story of Jesus and his life in the Gospels. So does anybody know what is special about Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John?
They're the Gospels.
Well, not Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, sorry. Matthew, Mark, and Luke. What's special about those three? Okay, you know? Yes, all four of the Gospels tell the story of Jesus' life and what he did. But what's special about Matthew, Mark, and Luke is that they are called the Synoptic Gospels, meaning that they follow like a similar pattern. Whereas John, you see, he lived a lot longer. And here's my joke for the night. If you don't get it, ask your leader. But the Lord let him live a little bit longer. He had a special revelation for him.
Ha, 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 ha.
Anyways, so John got the opportunity to share more of the why in this story. Why did Jesus come? Yes, he was born, but what was his purpose? And what was the story behind that? And so we see in John 1, 4 through 5, if we can put that up on the screen, the Word gave life to everything that was created, and his life brought light to everyone. This light, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. And we know from just 3 verses earlier that the Word being Jesus is the Word became flesh, and the Word was with us and was with God, and we know that from earlier. And so we see that Jesus was light. So if we ever want to know what God was, we know that he was light, and we know that because we can look to Jesus. And so in one of John's later letters, he writes in 1 John 3:16, you get that on the board? We know what real love is because Jesus gave up his life for us. So we also ought to give up our lives for our brothers and sisters. And this shows you the generosity of who Jesus is. It shows you what we are talking about. And so when we think about being like Jesus, right, because we're all called to be like Jesus, we also know that in Romans 12:1, it says we are called to offer our body as a living sacrifices because this is holy and pleasing to God. We are called to be generous with our life and with everything that we do. So what does it mean? What does it mean to live like light? Matthew 25:40 through 45. Matthew 25, if it's not up there, it's okay. It talks about a light, and you're not wanting to hide the light. Here we are. You are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden. No one lights a lamp and then puts it under a basket. That would defeat the purpose of the light, right? And so how do we show this light to the world? How do we be light in the darkness? And so we're told that we are lights because of the deeds that we do. So I think it's so easy to get caught up in this mindset that generosity is simply giving money. It's not, guys. There's so much more and so much more that you can do with generosity. So there are 3 things that I'm going to talk about. First, being generous with your time. In case you didn't know, Children's Ministry resident, we would love to give you an opportunity to be generous with your time. We get to love on kiddos and tell them about Jesus, and it's super awesome, and some of you already serve, and I hope that you love it as much as I do. You get to hang out with awesome kids like Nora Howard and Morgan all the time. It's great. But that's a way that you can be generous with your time. You're impacting their parents, you're impacting their lives, and it's great. And then there's also maybe mowing the lawn for a neighbor, or taking the time to hold open a door, or help somebody with their groceries. That's a way that you can be generous with your time. But you can also be generous with your money. And for this, I have a story that I want to share. So Katie and I, we went out and we got coffee one day. We were talking, and I left really convicted, as always. And we were talking about being available for God, being available with our time, and just being generous with what we have to offer the Lord. And so we're talking about this, and I leave, I'm like, oh no, God, what are you gonna have to do? I'm going to meet my friends for lunch, and the Lord just laid on my heart, you're going to pay for someone's meal today. I was like, okay, God, like, I don't know, I wasn't really planning on doing that, but all right, if you show me who, I'll do it. So we get to the restaurant, I'm sitting down, I tell my friend what's going on, because I'm really stressed about it, and I can't stop thinking about it. Who's it gonna be? Whose meal am I gonna be paying for? Looking around the restaurant, part of me is looking for whose meal would probably be the cheapest, who's the least amount of people, all that kind of stuff. I know, really bad, being vulnerable and honest over here. But my heart kept being tugged towards this mother and her 2 daughters. And I was like, well, they got here before me. So if they're still here, God, like, I'll pay for their meal. But if they're not, like, it's gotta be someone else, right? Their waitress comes over and she tells them something and is like apologizing, didn't really know what was going on. But I was like, okay. So just go on with our meal, and then our check comes, and it's like, all right, they're still here, I'll pay for their meal. And so I asked our waiter to get me their check, and so I went ahead and paid for it, and then their waitress comes up and she's, oh my gosh, did you pay for their meal? That's just so nice. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. And I didn't know how to respond. I was like, oh, well, yeah, I did. Yeah. Once again, still very like trying to figure out the situation. And she goes and she tells this table, and I was like, oh, what are they gonna think? Are they gonna think that it was rude that like I paid for their meal, and that I was like thinking that they couldn't do it themselves or whatever? And after she talks to them, the lady looks at me. Oh, this makes me a little emotional. She goes, did you pay for our meal today? Yeah, I did. Thank you so much. My son's in the hospital right now. Money's been really, really tight. And we've had like 4 people pay for our meals this week. Thank you so much. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, of course. And I had that opportunity then to get to pray for her daughters, her husband, and her son that was in the hospital. And she's crying, and she just gives me a hug. And like, the Lord not only blessed her in that moment, He blessed me. And even more than that, their waitress came back, and she was so touched by the moment. She was like, oh my gosh, you prayed with her too? That's incredible. What church do you go to? I'm like asking me all these questions. And I got to pray with her and what she was dealing with in her life. And the Lord opened that door just because I said yes to being generous. And Dylan actually came up to me today and was telling me about how she's sponsoring a compassion child with her own money, guys. How awesome is that? And so that's so cool. And she got her first letter today, and just how much it touched her. Guys, generosity is not just for the people we're being generous to. It changes something in us. It's all about the heart position. And the final way that I'm going to talk about this is awkward moments. If you were one of my middle school girls, you heard me talk about this last week. This sounds kind of weird that we can be generous in our awkward moments, but I'm going to share just an example. This probably applies more to girls, but I'll give one for the boys. Girls, when you're in the restroom and you like see the girl like fixing her hair, like her makeup, and making sure like she looks presentable to like leave the restroom. Every once in a while, I feel like I just need to tell her that she's really beautiful. I'm like, that's so weird. Who does that? I don't know this person. But I'll be like, okay, hey, you're really pretty. And sometimes it's received really well, like, wow, you're so nice. Other times it's like, okay, I'm gonna leave now. But anyways, I never know what that person's going through. What if they suffer like an eating disorder? What if they're having a really hard time at school? What if they found out that their boyfriend was cheating on them and they just feel really ugly? What if they just needed to know that they were seen and they were loved, and you could have been generous with an awkward moment and just offered a compliment? What about if you see somebody sitting alone at lunch and you have the opportunity to start a really awkward and uncomfortable conversation, but they might not have friends, they might be new, they might be bullied, you don't know, but be generous with your awkward moments. The one thing that I want y'all to take away is if you want to light the way for others, love like Jesus. Because Jesus was generous, not just when it was convenient, not just when people watched, not just when he would get something out of it, and not just when it was expected because of the time of year around him. The smallest bit of light penetrates darkness. So whether it is big or small, be light, not just in this time of year, but year round. All right, let's pray. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for all of these boys and girls and the fact that they are here, God, and they just want to hear from you. Lord, I just pray that you will bless the rest of our time and that you will really stir in their heart to be generous, not just during Christmas time, but year round. And remind them that it's not always financial, that they can be a light just by holding open a door or carrying some groceries. You are so good, and we praise you and we thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.